Hey there, students. Today our lesson is 5.5, and we're going to start learning about percents. Percents are really helpful in everyday life. We use them all the time. And so this should be quite a informative lesson. All right, before we hit percents, let's get this bell work out of the way. Yeah, we're a day off, so we're going to be doing Tuesdays today. So first things first, we're going to look at number one. And number one, we are being asked to simplify. And when we're asked to simplify, we're looking for things that we can do with parentheses, things like that. So let's just start right here. We're going to go 3 times 4x is 12x. And then 3 times 5 is 15. Now, we're done with that, so let's just move down everything else that's left. And I am following the order of operations. So I am going to do grouping, so parentheses. Then there are no exponents, so I've moved to multiply and divide. And I do have a divide here, so 6 divided by 3 is 2. So again, we bring everything down just as it is. And since we are now done with parentheses, or grouping, and we're done with exponents, we've done the multiplication and division. We are now adding and subtracting. So we're going to see if we have some common types of numbers here, and we do. So we're going to use remember, we can only combine like terms, and so that's what we're doing here. So we're going to go 2x plus 12x is 14x. And then 15 minus 2 is a positive 13. And there we are. That is our simplified expression. Let's move on to number 2. It says complete the table. So we have some ovals and some squares, it looks like. And it wants us to figure this out. So the first thing I'm going to do is I am going to take the ratio that it gives me, the 30 and the 35, and I'm going to simplify it. I know that 5 goes into both of them. It goes into that one 6, and it goes into this one 7. Now, I'm kind of working from the other direction. Usually, we have our key here for our ratio table, but we have the key on the right-hand side. So we're going to just do it as we always do. Okay, so 7 turned into 28 because I times it by 4. So I'm going to take the 6 and times it by 4, and I get 24. 6 turned into 18 because I times it by 3. 3 times 7 is 21. Oh, look at this. I can see that my 6 turned into 6 because I times it by 1. So I'm going to times the 7 by 1 also. And there's a key right there. And then on our next one, we are going to go 7 turned into 14 because I times it by 2. 2 times 6 is 12. And there we are. We have filled in our table, our ratio table. Okay, so this is what we're going to start learning about today. And this one's kind of not my favorite to start off with, but there's a couple of things about this. This part over whole equals percent over 100. So you can see right here, part whole equals percent over 100. Now, another word that we can use for part and whole is over of. Is always means part, of means whole. So we can look up here at this problem now, and we can see that we have of 30. So it doesn't go here because of that. It's of. Of goes there. So we go 30. And this right here is a percent. So percent always goes there. So we're going to go 0.5. And the thing that's left over that's blank, we don't know what it is. So we just call it x. So does this seem very familiar to you? It should, because it is, but percents are just ratios. They're just proportions, and that's exactly what we're doing right here. So we're going to go 100 times x is 100x. 30 times a half is 15. Oh, and I forgot that that's an x. So we're going to take 15 and divide it by 100. So I'm going to use my calculator really quick. It's going to be a decimal. So 15 divided by 100 is 0.15%, or sorry, the part. I put it on the wrong side. 0.15 is the part. The whole is 30, and that's 0.5%. So there you go. All right, let's move. Okay, guys, so I've started to fill out this ratio, or this fraction decimal percent chart, and you can see that it's pretty simple once you get going here. This one is 1/2. This one right here would be 75%. 10% would be 1/10. 20, just kind of looking at the pattern here, 20/10 would simplify to 1/5. That would be 20%. Move it up a little bit now. So 30% would be 30/100. And how would we write that as a simplified fraction? It'd be 3/10. And we have 30%. This one's 40, so it's 40%. Or you could write it as 4/10, but that simplifies to 2/5. So 2/5. And then this one would be 0.40. So it's really easy to kind of see from 60 would be 60/100, because that's what we're, oh, whoops, I changed the color on accident. 60/100, then 0.60, and then 60/100 simplifies to, what does it simplify? So if I have 60/100, that goes 6 out of 10, and the 2 goes into that, so 3/5. This would be 70/100, and this would be 70%, and then 7/10. Then we keep going. It just follows a pattern. So if you need help, let's see. Well, I want to see if you guys can fill out the rest of this. So go ahead and try that. All right, so now we're looking at your practice. And this practice here, it says write the percent as a fraction or a mixed number in simplest form. Okay, so if we have 55, so this is what I'd like you to kind of see here. If I want to do this, I'm going to go, okay, start out with 55/100. And then we can use cake method from here. We can just go 55/100. Well, 5 goes into both of them. So 5 goes into that 11 times, and it goes into this one 20 times. So my answer would be 11/20. So pretty simple there. The ones that are over 100, well, we're going to still do the same thing. We're going to just start with 140/100, and then we're going to use the cake method here. And I know that 10 goes into both of them, 14 and 10, and then 2 goes into it, so it turns into 7 and 5. So yeah, we would have an improper fraction here because it's over 100. So it would be 7/5. So that cake method is going to be something that you will use a ton when you're dealing with percents. So this one is 12/100, and then 2 goes into both of them, so 6/50. So some of them you can do without the cake method, but most of them you're going to want to refer to that if you're not quite sure. So 35/100, well, 5 goes into both of those. 5 goes into 35 7 times, and it goes into 120 times. And it doesn't simplify any further, so we're done. Write the fraction or mixed number as a percent. Well, this is what I want you to do. I would like you to use your calculator here. And you're going to go 3 divided by 4, and you're going to get this. When I divide 3 divided by 4, I get this, 0.75. Now we're just going to move this decimal over 2 places, and that's your percent, 75%. Okay, so let's try one more of these. 23 divided by 40, and I get this as my decimal, 0.575. Move the decimal always 2 places. We end up with 57.5%. Okay, so give give 7 and 8 a try on your own and see what you get. All right, is that what you got? I was looking at this number 8 right here. So what I do to do these problems is I forget about the 8 for a minute, okay? And I'm going to take 9 and divide it by 25, and I get 0.36. Then I put the 8 with it. So I have 8 and 36 hundredths. Move the decimal 2 places, you get 836%. So if you have one whole out of 1, then you have 100%, right? So if there was one question on a test and you got that one question correct, you got 100%. So if there were 8 questions and you got all 8 right, you would have 100% because it's 8 out of 8. But when we're talking about percentages, we have to count those all as a percent. Each of those wholes is a percent. So it's 836%. Okay, so on this one, find the percent. Now this is where we're going to use what we used in our bell work. Whenever we're doing percents, this is how you set it up. We go line equals line. This is going to be our is. This is going to be our of. And our percent lives here. So I'm going to use some different colors here so you can kind of distinguish the difference. 12 is, 12 goes where the is goes. 12 is what percent of 40? You see that of 40? And you're going to put the 40 here. And it says what percent? We don't know what percent it is, but it's always over 100 when we're dealing with a percentage. So all we have to do from here is go 12 times 100. Use your calculator if you need to. 12 times 100. Enter, and then divide by 40. Divide by 40, I get 30. So it's 30% is the answer to this one. Okay, so I'm going to do one more, and then I would like you to try some on your own, just to kind of get comfortable before you do your assignment. So we're going to go line equals line over 100, because it's always over 100 with percent. 6 is, so remember, is lives here. Of lives there. 6 is, so 6 there is what percent? So we don't know the percent of 16. We put it there. So this is going to be 6 times 100, which is 600, divided by 16. 600 divided by 16. I get 37.5%. Okay, so any of these can be missing. The is can be missing, the of can be missing, or the percent can be missing. So that's why it's just good to have this little tool here of the line equals line, is over of equals percent over 100. And we're going to refer to it a lot. So this next one, you can see that it gives us some different information. So we're going to always start with this. 4 is, so we know is here, of is here. 4 goes there. 4 is 50%, so it gave us the percentage, so it goes there. And we're missing the of, so of goes there. So it's going to be 400 divided by 50. So you're going to go 400 divided by 50, and we get 8. So x equals 8. Okay? 8 is our whole. And that makes sense. If I have 4 out of 8, that's 50% of 100. Okay? So let's see if you can I'm going to do one more, and then I want you to do 12 and 14 on your own. So again, line equals line over 100. Is goes here, of goes here, percent goes on the top. So what is 40%? So it gave me the 40%. The of is 80, and it says what is, so I know that I don't have that. So 80 times 40 is 3,200, I think. I'm going to do the calculator just to check. Yeah, 3,200 divided by 100, and we get 32. 32 is the part. 32 over 80 is 40% of 100. Okay, let's see if you can do 12 and 13 on your own. All right, so there's number 12. We've got 40. And number 14, we got 37.8. So some of these answers will be decimals, and that's just fine. You just have to be ready for that. They don't always work out to be whole numbers. Okay, let's take a look at your assignment. All right, so I'm looking at your assignment here, and that is just like the 1 through 4 is just like what was on the practice. Same with 5 through 8. Number 9 through 11, we're taking you a blast from the past, guys. We're taking you back to like 2nd and 3rd grade, where it wants you to write a fraction and a percent. So guys, remember, I'll do number 9 for you. So the fraction here is 6 out of 10, right? And then if you just use your calculator and you go 6 divided by 10, it gives you 0.6. So that's 60%. Because remember, when we're dealing with decimals, that's 6. Well, you have to move that decimal in percentage 2 places. So this is 60%. Okay, so it's just a matter of using your calculator and doing some division. All right, so number 12, 13, and 14, all the rest of this is just like what was on the worksheet on the practice. So if you're lost, refer to the practice. That's where you need to go if you are lost, because I do problems just like it on there. Or on GoFormative, I know that we're including some videos to kind of help you along the way with those. So you can always look at GoFormative, the little videos that are included that we put on there, and it'll give you some helpful hints on how to do this too. So good luck, guys. Until next time. Bye.